Before the video starts, I just wanted to give a big thank you to the Midwest Model Store for reaching out to my channel. Keep watching the video to find out of a very special offer that I have for my subscribers all around the world from the Midwest Model Store. Thank you very much and enjoy the video. How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite aviation channel, and today I am very excited to bring to you all the 12th airport update for Lahore Allama Iqbal International Airport. It's been about 3 months since the last Lahore update, and I just wanted to say thank you everybody for your patience with me as I do my best to get these videos out while simultaneously juggling my university coursework as well. Now that I am done with uploading all the Pakistan trip videos and editing all the 2 videos from my recent trip to San Diego with my family a few weeks ago, I do have pretty much, I guess I kind of have to make these videos now, the airport updates and aviation news videos, so hopefully expect a few more of these to come, over the next few weeks and months. Also, I just wanted to say quickly, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem to everybody celebrating. Hope you all make the most of this very blessed month. And with that being said, let's get the update started. So, as I said, this is the 12th update. It's actually going to be based off of a real-life, situation or scenario that took place on January 20th. If you don't know, Lahore is in the northeast of Pakistan, not northern areas, but northeast of Pakistan, and that area tends to get really. It suffers a lot. I don't want to say suffer, but it experiences a lot of fog, heavy storms, that kind of stuff during especially the winter season, and that really affects the flight operations when there is heavy fog and heavy storms and all that kind of stuff. Really affects the operations of flights in Lahore and kind of Islamabad as well, and I guess Sialkot and Faisalabad and basically everywhere in Punjab and KPK, I guess. So this update is based off of January 20th. There was a lot of fog. I think it was either fog or storms, I can't remember, but basically a bunch of flights were delayed, and it ended up causing a huge rush of flights arriving around, I would say, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. The entire airport was just body slammed. Basically all the planes that you see in this update were actually there in real life, minus one, I think. So let's get it started. Let me just zoom out and just show you what we're dealing with here. The entire terminal was packed, and it was so packed they had planes spilling out onto the remote gates and everything like that. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. So a bunch of these flights are actually delayed. They were delayed at least 9-10 hours just because this fog got, or whatever. I don't know if it was fogs or storms, but it got pretty bad. So most of them were delayed significantly, and we'll go through everything when we get to each individual aircraft. So we'll start over here with this Saudi 777-300ER. I believe this is stand number 2. I keep forgetting if this is, no, this is number 2, I believe. This aircraft, yeah, Saudi 777-300ER, this aircraft just came in from Jeddah as flight 734, and this aircraft is actually, this flight, I should say, was operating on time that day. It just happened to come in at a time where a bunch of previously delayed flights were also coming in, but this flight, I believe, ended up circling for a good amount before finally arriving. And even though this is a scheduled flight for Lahore at that time period, it ended up being relegated or sent to a remote gate. Unfortunate for the passengers, but Lahore is a pretty small airport when you look at it, and it shouldn't. I think it's time they expanded it. It's a city of 16 million people. It's the second biggest city in Pakistan. It's about time that it got an expansion. I don't know how they'll do that, but it's been on the cards for a while now. They've been planning to expand the airport for some time, so we'll see whenever that happens. All right, next up at what is normally a domestic gate. This is the Sri Lankan Airlines Airbus A330-200. In real life, it was a 300. This flight circled for a really long time. I think it did about 4 to 6 circles or loops, circuits, whatever, in the air before finally landing. And they sent it to the gate number 3 here, which is normally a domestic gate. Normally it's just domestic airlines, Pakistani airlines that use this gate, but because the situation got so bad, flights were just body slamming this airport all at the same time. They put it at gate 3, which is really rare because, like I said, it's normally a narrow body domestic gate. In real life, this was an A330-300. I don't have that one. I have the 200 though, in the One World livery, which is also a regular visitor to Lahore and Karachi. But this is flight UL 185 from Colombo, and this was running about 2 hours late. It departed, I believe, no, 2 hours late. So yeah, 2 hours late coming into Lahore. I don't know if this is cargo, just cargo, or both passengers and cargo. I'm not too sure about that. I don't know if the demand between Sri Lanka and Pakistan is so big that they actually fill completely A330s. I'm assuming it has to do with both cargo and passengers, but let me know if anybody knows if the Sri Lankan flights to Pakistan are passengers and cargo only. I would love to know, because they've only been flying A330s to Karachi and Lahore lately, which is really cool to see. I love seeing that. All right, over here we have another relatively, well, not, I shouldn't say on time, but this is a PIA 777-200LR. This aircraft came in from Toronto as flight 790, about, I guess, 3 or 4 hours before this entire rush started. It landed at like 11 a.m. and it was running about an hour and a half late anyways, but that's just because PIA runs late all the time. But this came in around 11 a.m. The real like rush of flights started around 1:30, but they parked it at this gate number 4, which again, I'm not sure if that's a normal thing, but they parked it here, which is really cool. And this aircraft didn't circle or anything, it just came straight in, because at that time I don't think the weather was that bad. So they ended up just landing like normal, which is good, and then they parked over here. I'll get this Air Blue A320 real quick. This aircraft is flight 402 from Karachi. This aircraft was running about 4 hours late. Again, landed at 1:30 during the big rush period. And again, because the situation got so bad, they couldn't park it at the terminal, so they sent it to the remote gate. Unfortunate for the passengers, because normally this plane would be at this gate, or maybe that gate, but again, Lahore is very limited in space, and even though it's getting busier, they don't have any plans right now to, it's rumored they'll expand it, but not sure if they ever will get the chance to do that. But again, it just goes to show that Lahore is in definite need, dire need of an expansion, because when stuff like this happens all the time, because the weather gets really bad during the winter seasons and all that. So it's just madness. So they definitely need to expand it sometime soon, whenever they can, but we'll see if that actually happens. Hey everybody, quick intermission here before we move on to finish the airport update. Just want to let you guys in on a little partnership that I've come to be a part of with the Midwest Model Store. A few months ago, back in January, when I was actually stuck in Pakistan, Ali, the founder and the owner of Midwest Model Store, he actually reached out to me to see if we could set up some sort of affiliate marketing program. And he's actually done that with other aviation channels on YouTube as well, Mile High Aviation, Red River Aviation, the legendary Air Force Proud 95. They all have similar partnerships with the Midwest Model Store. And so I'm very excited to announce that I'm also joining in on this partnership program sort of thing. And what this entails is that I have a link below to the Midwest Model Store where you can view the entire, their list of models they have in stock. Really good selection. If you like anything, purchase anything you want from there. I have a special discount code for my subscribers. It's AS5, you get 5% off. And I would say Midwest Model Store has among the best service of any model retailer. But be sure to check them out. AS5 is my discount code, really easy to memorize, 3 characters, and you get 5% off. And it's just really fast shipping, really great service. And I've bought from many different retailers across the US in my life, and Midwest Model Store is definitely the best one. I'm not saying that because I'm biased or anything, but because it's the facts. Like, I literally have had the best service, best shipping, fastest shipping, I should say, from them. So be sure to check them out. Link is in the description below. AS5 for 5% off. Great selection of models, and you won't regret it. So thank you, Ali, for reaching out to me. I'll have a proper advertisement for them coming up soon. I'll be sure to make one as soon as I can. Just be on the lookout for that. But if you're interested, again, link in the description below, and check them out. Thanks. All right, everybody. So I had to switch up to my phone real quick because As always, I'm really bad at planning these out. My camera was, of course, on low battery. As soon as I finished that last clip, it was giving me the low battery indicator, so I just quickly switched it up to my phone to finish off this update. So yeah, there we go. Phone comes to the rescue once again. But continuing with the airport update, we have this Oman Air 737-800 at gate 5, I think it is, and it just came in from Muscat. This flight 343, and this guy was on time. He's actually supposed to be here at this time, and luckily they did not have to circle. They didn't have to hold for anything. They came in straight in, no problems. This flight was actually a 737-900 on that particular day, but because I don't have that, I have the 800 as a substitute. All right, now we get into the big delays here. This Turkish Airlines 777-300ER flight 714 from Istanbul. This was delayed, I believe, 9 hours coming out of Istanbul. Landed, I believe, at 2:30 p.m. And you can do the math. I believe they're supposed to arrive at 5 a.m. That's the Turkish Airlines schedule for all Pakistan flights. Actually, their Karachi flight lands at like 4:30. Islamabad also like 5 a.m. and then Lahore at 5 a.m. as well. That's their schedule for their Pakistani flights. But yeah, of course, because the weather is really bad this time of year, or January, February, that kind of year, a lot of fog and storms and everything, just messes the entire transport operation, not just the airport, but also the railway. The trains get held up, and there's a lot of flooding and stuff like that, covering the tracks. It gets pretty messy, but yes, they had to hold for a significant amount of time. They did some circuits, loops in the air, and finally landed, got assigned gate number 6. And again, that's Turkish 714 from Istanbul. Next, 777-300ER. This is the Qatar Airways flight 628 from Doha. This is actually supposed to be here. This is the regularly scheduled 1 p.m. arrival. Only ended up coming in 40 to 50 minutes late that day. So yeah, they also ended up circling for a good amount of time before landing around 1:50 p.m. And again, that's flight 628 from Doha. That's supposed to be here. That's a scheduled flight at this time. All right, moving on. This guy was delayed the longest. This Emirates flight 622 from Dubai, 777-300ER. 19-hour delay for this one. Landed at, again, 2 p.m. You can do the math. He's supposed to get in much earlier than 2 p.m. But yeah, ended up departing Dubai late because of weather issues here, and then got to Lahore 19 hours later than was scheduled. And again, this flight had to do some holding patterns in the air before finally landing safely. And yeah, there we go. All right, moving on to the last aircraft at the terminal. Another Qatar Airways 777-300ER. This one's got the One World livery, and this is another significantly delayed flight. This is flight 620, and that day it was running 13 to 14 hours late. Scheduled departure time from Doha is 7:05 p.m. I think, and ended up departing at 9 p.m. Landed around again 2 p.m. here, when its scheduled arrival is 1 a.m. So that's a big, massive delay. Not as bad as Emirates, but I mean, it was pretty badly delayed. In real life, this was a standard livery 777, but I don't have 2 standard livery 333s. I have the One World and I have the regular, so I just had to do this because that's what I had to make use of my resources, right? So yeah, 14-hour delay on this one, flight 620. And funny story, when I was flying to Karachi through Doha on January 7th, this flight was also delayed about 15 hours that day, and there was a big line of angry passengers, or frustrated I should say, at the customer service desk. And I'm hoping that these passengers on these delayed flights from Turkish, Emirates, Qatar, it's not their fault, the airline's fault, it's not their fault at all, but this is out of their control. The weather is not something they can control. Hopefully they got some good compensation, some flight credits, or some, I don't know what kind of compensation they get, but I'm hoping that, Qatar, Emirates, Turkish, besides this being completely out of their control, I'm hoping these airlines were able to give these passengers some accommodations, because like 19-hour delay for Emirates and 14 for Qatar, they should be getting some sort of, accommodations. So hopefully they were able to get something sorted out. If not, then that's messed up. But this sort of thing, the weather in Lahore is really unpredictable during the winter season, And like I mentioned earlier, it just affects not just Lahore, but Sialkot and maybe not so much Multan, but I'm not too sure about that. I know for sure Lahore and Sialkot get affected the most, and then you have Islamabad and Peshawar and Multan and whatever. Karachi is really Karachi's like the safety airport. When Lahore gets shut down because of weather, most flights will divert to Karachi or something. In other cases, they might just turn right back. Like I know one time one of the Emirates flights ended up turning right back because the weather was so bad. So yeah. And another funny story, when I was in Karachi, we actually had a DHL 767 divert there. It was going from Bahrain to Lahore, but because the weather got bad that day, they just ended up diverting to Karachi, and they didn't go to Lahore. Actually, they ended up going straight back to Bahrain, which was really interesting to see. So I'm not sure how they got that cargo that was supposed to go to Lahore. I'm not sure how they got it there, but it was cool to see. I'm talking way too much, but last airplane here is this Etihad A321. Unfortunately, all of the Etihad A321s are now repainted. This particular plane, A6AEA, it's retired from the fleet, which is sad. I mean, this is the one that I flew on from Islamabad in 2016. So it's the only one that they removed from their fleet. It's in a completely white livery now. And then all the other 321s are still in the fleet, but they're all repainted. So this livery is no more existent. It's non-existent now on the 321 fleet, which is really sad because it was a nice livery. I like the Etihad old livery. But this aircraft is the EY243 from Abu Dhabi, and I believe this one was on time. This is actually a regularly scheduled flight at 2 p.m. So I think this one also did some circles, some holding patterns in the air. I keep saying circles. I sound so unprofessional when I say that, but the correct term is holding pattern. Did some holding patterns, landed safely, and because the space is so limited, the entire terminal was basically filled up. They accommodated it at a remote stand. This is kind of unrealistic because it was actually at the other one. There's a narrow body stand to the left of it here, which I don't have space for. So it wasn't on this exact stand, it was on the one just to the left of it. There's one right here, just imagine there's one, it was actually parked there. In this stand, there was actually a Sichuan Airlines A330-300. I think it was a cargo flight, so that one actually ended up parking here, and then this plane was over there. So yeah, I don't have the Sichuan 330, which is why it's not there. But crazy day, January 20th, 2022. What a crazy day it was at Lahore. And like I mentioned, I believe earlier in the video, this is kind of a regular thing during the winter months, just because of the fog and the storms and everything. It just messes everything up. Unfortunately, like situations like this, it's really cool to see all the planes just lined up like that, the entire terminal just packed. But sadly, you don't get many photos. I have never seen any photos, showing the situation, which is understandable because it's just such a busy time at the airport. Nobody's got time to stand around and take pictures and enjoy it. But yeah, this is, I think, the second time I'm recreating this sort of situation. I did it one time a while ago, where I had the Qatar 777 here, and I think I had an A350 there. That was a previous update a while ago. But it was good to recreate this. I've been wanting to recreate this for a long time, ever since I got back from Pakistan and was able to see that happening. I wasn't there exactly in Lahore to see it, but I was able to see the flights getting, affected on Flight Radar 24. And like I mentioned earlier, the DHL 767 was a diversion to Karachi. I was able to see that. Crazy day, really crazy day. But that's it for today. Really hope you enjoyed it. I will finish off with the Qatar because that's my favorite. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave me a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Again, check out the Midwest Model Store. Use my code AS5 for 5% off. Best model retailer in the United States, by far. Fastest shipping, for me at least, and just a great guy. Ali, if you're watching this video, you're doing great. Keep up the good work with the Midwest Model Store, and hopefully you guys can go check his website out. Link in the description below. Again, use my code AS5. You get 5% off. All right. What else to say? That's it. Thank you again so much. Hopefully I'll be back soon with another airport update. I'll have a trip report coming out this Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Aside from that, thank you so much. Take care, everybody, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.